So that, yeah, right.
So we are live
So
now.
hello people. I'm myself Akil Kompella. I'm a AZ Community Hyderabad lead. So basically the Azure developer community is to mainly aiming for upskilling those who are interested in for learning new technologies and all those stuff. So those are developers and all, and looking forward to learn the new technologies. The Azure developer community is always for you, looking for it. So today in the show we have Vishwas Narayan, the speaker of Azure cloud computing of Azure developer community. He's one of the lead. So over to you, Vishwas.
Yeah, how are you folks? Nice to take part in all the events in Azure Developer Community. And uh, okay, so wait, I'll just log in and I'll just get you the share screen done.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Uh, basically, I'll just get my share screen done. So I'm sharing my screen. So basically, my journey in cloud really started out by thinking about like what's the best move that I can do in the world of cloud. Since this is basically an introduction to how to work in Azure cloud, we'll just move ahead with some research papers. I'll say why I'm going ahead with research papers because on DevSecOps. So challenges and solutions in adapting DevSecOps in deep learning. So why I'm stressing out on DevSecOps lately, it's because a lot of times when I think in terms of what can go wrong in the predictions and everything, it's all still the same old thing. It's all still the same old electronic signal that we just press on our this thing. What do you call the keyboard? And basically what it does is it just goes ahead and it just has its own ASCII and all those variation. But now I'm talking at the scale deployment, at the scale leveraging of all these kinds of technology. So if you can read this paper is actually good. It's a systematic review about all these technology that we are talking about. I think mm, wait, Google Docs. I think I can show you one of my paper. It's already published. It's not a problem. No, where and all I have written this thing. So you can think of ML ops. So ML ops in the develops the data science perspective. In this paper that I've written, I just wrote it for some reason, and I'm talking about Docker here. I am talking about the deep learning deployments and everything, but there is a new way of understanding. Like, okay, this is what we need. This is what we require at the end of the day, and we are just going ahead with all these kinds of things. Like, it's still the same old ASCII code. It's still the same old electronic impulses. It just gets processed in the CPUs and GPUs, and that's it. So all these papers that I'm giving as a reference is the best form of understanding. Okay, this is what we need in the world of AI or deep learning. Like, these are the form factors. There's nothing ahead apart from that. This, if you're not giving the answer to my best platform to practice, C questions. Okay, leave. It's not a problem. But like,
These are based
bla-
on a cloud platform, right?
हाँ,
So,
practice C का मतलब I don't know, C cloud or anything. I don't know, man. But I can say you one thing.
we
C program के लिए you go to hacker rank or anything, you will have everything done there. So
yes, we
that's
need
not
to
a
be
problem.
clear with this question. I think so.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Leave it.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is what I'm talking about. So fake point of interest detection in the location data. This is where it is. So it's at the scale data which is coming in and streaming inside all these application, and you're just accessing it. So you guys can refer to all these papers. And this is a cloud
Okay.
computing session. This is not an C programming session. Okay, if you want C programming, Hacker Earth is there. Okay, you can leave the stream. It's not a big problem. Arre. And I was like, C, C, C. I'm like, what C, what C is asking.
Yeah.
So all these papers you can guys can go refer. It's very easy for understanding what is this DevSecOps and all these. In robotics also it's there, so you guys can go check it out. I think I have a list of resources which can say you that. I'll share it in the comment section of this video, so don't worry about that. So let's just go ahead and get inside the portal and start learning it. Portal.azure.com. Sign in with GitHub. So I'm already having my GitHub done. So we'll go ahead with the basics of it. So how to enter an Azure portal, I'll say you how to get the subscriptions and everything. So it's always there for you, right? You need to know how to get the subscription, this, that, and everything. So yes. So I just enter this entire repository of my Azure portal, which is there provided by from the Azure team from the Microsoft. And this is how it looks like. If you have not created anything and if you just have a subscription, this is how it looks like. And there are three ways to get the subscription in. So one is pay as you go model. So you have to just put the credit card and there will be a charging of 1,500 rupees extra from what you have used. It's like pay as you go model is basically like you have an entire repository of Azure services, but in the end of the day, you are getting the support from Azure team as well. So that model is also there. And the other one is free account in Azure. So you guys can go check out this free account. So it requires credit card and it gives all the popular services for 12 months free and 40 other services are free always. का मतलब to some extent only you can use them for free, like Azure Functions is free, Cosmos DB is free, like for the free tier account, and afterwards they start charging you all the things. So after the credits keep getting the free service, after your credits keep getting the free services, these are some of the free resources that I'm saying here. So 10 web apps will be free, mobile or web API apps. 1 GB storage is available for you. That's good enough. So 1 million requests ka matlab you can just push and pull any amount of data for Azure function. So it's always there. So all these functions, just understand all these are the simple functionalities that we are getting in. So every month it's like 750 hours of your Linux and VM kernels are available for free. Just start using them. It's the best option that you can learn from, right? And that's what it's. But this requires a credit card for you to go. And also there is one more pay as you go model. So if you go for the pay as you go model, so there are other advantages as well. So you can get it started. So free account Azure, free student account Azure. Free Azure account for students. If you can go for student, and there is no credit card required here. For the other things, the credit cards were required. Plus, the free services will always be free, and you get a $100 credit. You can train one model for a day, and you can just keep it there. But it's not worth it to have $100 of credit. But all the other services are free for you, right? You can still use them, start working towards it, and all the free services. Get popular services free while you have credits. Yes, it's all there. All services will be available for you. So this is how you can reach out. And also the other way is GitHub Student Pack. GitHub Student Pack. So this is here. So you guys can go check out the subscription. Like as soon as you have your ID card, just try using it. That's a better option for you, right? You
You can
don't
also
have
access
to.
all the courses right from it.
Yeah, like if you
All the
want,
student
you
developer
access
pack,
everything.
it is access. Yes, yes,
Yep, you guys will get everything here. So all
yes.
these are paid services which are available for free to you. So why to worry about that? So you can start working on it. So let's just start with it. How the industry evolved at the end of the day. They started by having their physical servers in-house. They're maintaining it. Network operations were done in-house. Everything was a mess. Like, should we upgrade the software? Should we upgrade the hardware? Should we do this? Should we do that? The life was still there in a dilemma. Just like we are ready to throw away the money, but we need the state of the art technology, and that's where the cloud computing came into the picture. And also there was a problem of scalability, right? I can show you one of the topics from Uber research. Microservices, I think it was once shared by uh, There's one shared by Vivek Sridhar sir. I've really forgotten that post, by the way. I don't know. Yeah, this is the same post. The domain oriented microservices. And yeah, this is the same post. Yes. I was thinking about the post that he shared, and this is the same post that he had shared once in his LinkedIn. And this is how you get hundreds and hundreds of hit on your server, and it should scale up at one given point of time. It should not be like, okay, I'm just going to just break at this point of time. Sorry, I'm shutting down. It should never be that. It should be able to get that many amount of hits at a time. Ka matlab, that much amount of traffic, that many people transacting their entire data in and out of that system. It should happen. So lately we just came up with all these evolutions, and that's where we came up with this idea of VMs, containers, serverless, and so on. So let's just start with building a VM, virtual machine. So let's
Yes.
just say how this virtual machine starts. So this is a state of the art beginning that I can say to you. So there is a different set of preset configurations. Oh, sorry, I didn't have my zoom in 64 exclusive. So yes, so you can create a virtual machine. You can start a preset configurations here. So as soon as you click on it, there are two options which are available to you to start it. And don't worry about it. There is something called a scale set. So virtual machine scale sets are another concept. We need one day to explain what is the scale set all about. So if you think of creating a virtual machine, it's still going to be virtual machines, but it's going to be multiple of it. Like, what if I'm getting a request which can't be tackled by one VM that I'm creating? So scale sets are there for you. So let's just leave all this. Let's just go to virtual machines, create a virtual machine, and see how you can access the files there. So it still runs as an say Linux or an Ubuntu machine. So you guys can give the name. So there was a Vishwas group was created. See, automatically I just typed the VM name and
Yes.
the VM group was already created. So if I remove that, it will not go away, right? It will not be there. So let me just say Akil, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir
Yes,
nahi
Vishwas.
bhai.
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, sir. Yes, Vishwas.
Akil.
Yes, yes.
VM. So see that I
Okay.
just
Yeah.
wrote Akil and Akil group just came in.
Yes.
So this is how they have automated it. Like earlier, you were supposed to create this, that, and everything, but today it's very easy. So Akil, I'm creating Akil community demo. Like, let's do that. Okay,
Okay.
there should not be any spaces.
AKHL. Okay.
So it's AKHIL.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, Vishwas.
I'll
Yes.
just do community demo. Leave that.
Fine, fine,
Community
fine.
demo. So I updated it in got updated. See, this is how they are. And there is an amazing option called as spot instances. If you click on it, see the magic of the pricing which happens there. So it says you the two options, right? So you have to only plan for the capacity. Capacity ka matlab, what if my VM has an hits by hundreds of people at one given point of time and my VM is not able to target it. So okay, let's not keep it more pricey. Let's just optimize for the capacity out there. Or else there are even other options where you can see here. It is saying that you can price or capacity, choose the maximum price. Azure will evict your virtual machines when the cost of the instance is greater than your max price or when the Azure needs the capacity to pay for your workload. Like, if you have set some allocation of price, and if you are saying that, hey, I can't pay you that much, your Azure will just start stopping it. So let's see what is going to happen. So this is what I'm saying about, right? If this two virtual cores are already available, what next? Stop the deallocation allocation. Eviction policy, that is what I'm talking. So I'm saying you to stop the VM. Do not delete it. So if you say delete, it will delete, stop, it will stop. So capacity only, it's basically saying that, so let's just plan for the capacity of the Azure needs. Pay as you go for workloads. Your max price is set to the pay as you go rate. Like, that is how you are planning it, right? So let's see what's the pricing without this and with this. So let's just download this public key as well. So review and create. See the magic of it? It just starts creating.
Yes.
And now, since I had already had given my number, it will be there. I think there'll be one download which happens, the PM file. So see that
For security
the
purposes.
pricing is not given. It should come up on the pricing model, but it's not coming here. Oh yeah, yeah, sorry for that. It's here. Sorry for that. So it says 0.03, right? So you can see the pricing model which is happening per hour. You're just paying this much, right? Now let's just go back to the basics and deselect that spot instance. Okay. Now review and create, and let's see what's the pricing here. It's 0.96 something. See the pricing which just hopped up, right? It's 0.03 to 0.09. So this is the change that you can see in the spot instances and everything. So let's create. Let's go ahead. So download the private key. Yes, I want to
Yes.
download the private key because
Okay,
I will
download
show
it.
you how to connect with private keys as well. So that will be there. So it's downloaded. So you can see that community demo key.pm is private key, and it's now creating it. So submitting the deployment. I think now if I click on that, I'll just go back to all these steps which are happening. Meanwhile, let's create a VM in uh, wha- this one. What is that? Windows system as well, because we can see how a Windows system work, right? So you get different flavors of Ubuntu. So you can get Red Hat, Ubuntu, SUSE, Oracle Linux, Debian, CentOS, anything. Anything that you click on will be there in front of you. So I would choose 2022 data center Azure edition. Let's say 10 because this is 10, right? No, let's do one thing. 2022. Let's see what's there in the new one. So I'll not select the spot instances because I'm rich. So I'll keep the password, which was 12 and hash. And okay, let's see 122. You must have a 12 digits. Okay, okay, okay. Which was 12 dev demo. So it came up. So I'm very lazy. So I'll just copy and paste it here. So I
There is
think
a dot
anybody
from
can
Reach
access.
Chatterjee. Vishwas, there is a
Yeah.
dot from Reach Chatterjee. There is a dot from a Reach Chatterjee student saying that just see the chat.
Good evening. Hello, Reek. Okay. Hey everyone. I want to know that I have started learning web dev and I aspire to try GSOC 2023. As I'm just in first year with the dev, is it okay to simultaneously start with DevOps? Are bhai kar lo. This is the best time to enter the market of software engineering. See, I'll say you what's the biggest thing here because I have to start beginner like learning Linux. Wait, I have an entire thing planned for Linux. I can do a Linux session if Akhil can host it. I can do an entire Linux session. That's not
Sure,
a big
sure.
problem.
Why not? Why not? Yes,
So
sure.
it's very easy. This is the best time to enter the world of DevOps and software engineering. Enter it as quick as possible. Like, अगर हो सकता है तो just go ahead with all your things that you're doing. So just do as many projects on Flutter, React, Django, or anything. Like, we did a lot of problem because I'm an EC guy. I was, and it was not that great for me. But if you're a CSE guy, try ahead with DevOps. Not an issue. So I would say start with the DevOps because it gives you the Toyota mindset and you can start ahead with anything. Okay, anything you just keep coming in.
Sure,
So
sure.
it's the RDP. So I'll be downloading the RDP and I'll be coming in. So see that RDP is now bound to 3389 port. So to be very frank, let you take an Raspberry Pi. So I'll show you the Raspberry Pi. Wait for that. So I have a lot of emojis, and I think I can show you a lot of hardware. So this is a Raspberry Pi hardware that I have here. So this is actually a computer. What you see is a computer, which is my laptop. This is also a laptop. By the way, I can open it, not an issue. So I think nobody has ever touched it. So this is a credit card size computer, right? It has 4 gigs of RAM. It's 4B model, and it has 4 gigs of RAM. And it's good to go with any of the models that I'm saying. So what's happening in this small computer happens in my laptop as well. Happens in this entire cloud infrastructure as well. Fun fact: any hardware that you design today, which has any amount of x86, x86 64, number of ports in hardware is 65535 ports in hardware, in computer. So any computer you take, it's 65535 ports. So this is the amount of ports that you will be tackling with. So at the end of the day, there are different ports for HTTP, HTTPS. Here, I think I showed you that SSH. That SSH is open with 20-second port, so anybody can breach in at any given point. So you guys can go with the hard DP, and I think I should confirm that. So I'll confirm that. So it's confirmed that I'm taking it. Allow selected port. That's it. So this is also not taken care in the production, and that's not a problem out there. I confirm that I'll be saving that and everything. All these options are there for your good only, so you can save for the licenses, save up to all these other things because you have already paid for it, right? So you guys can go review and create it. I think that deployment has happened. Let's just go with that. So in a similar way, this deployment and that deployment also happens the same way. So you need not have to worry about it. So I think computer group VNet, so it's already connected. So load balancing, it's not required. So don't worry about that. So it's Vishwas Narayan Windows VM. So I'm just taking that Windows VM and I'm creating it. So I think this is the best part about it, right? You get that end-to-end review. You get to know end-to-end what is happening in your entire system. So this is what it is. So let's just allow it to be created. So I think I have my password here. So that's perfect. So I think the deployment was succeeded. So let's just go and see what is that SSH I can do. So whatever I told, after getting deployed, so you guys can click on the go to the resources, click on the button called as connect, and you guys can start connecting here. So I want to connect to an SSH here. So RDP is not allowed in your Linux, so you guys can see that. Download the RDP file. If it's there, let's do that. So let's see. Since I didn't do any password or anything, so I don't think it will come up. But let's see whether this connection will happen. So I have downloaded the RDP file. So let's see whether the connection will happen, or else you can normally go with an SSH command. So it didn't happen. So remote desktop cannot be connected. Remote access server is not enabled. Remote. Okay, it's my sister's computer, so I can't do that. So let me just show you how to do it in the PowerShell. Windows PowerShell. I'll just zoom it up, loading it up a little bit. So yes, अरे क्या हो गए? Yeah, it's now there. But I want to copy that PM file ka path, right? So I'll do that right now. So I just hold the shift, right click, copy as path. What I do is I just connect to it directly. It's very easy. Once you have a connection like this, it's very easy to connect. So connected. So click on the enter. So now it will take some time, and I say yes. And now you can see that it's now getting connected. So you guys can see how much of an information comes up. Like, hey, your ECDSA key, fingerprint, SHA, it just gave out some hash. Are you sure that you want to continue it? Yes, I want to sure that I'm continuing it because that hash came because of this PM file getting matched. If it was not getting matched, it will say error not able to connect. So a memory usage, system load, everything can be there. So let's just do top, it's top, and you can see all the different file system which is happening. This works exactly as similar to your this one. What do you call the Linux system that we are talking about? So let's just clear it. So now this is now connected to your entire system. So I do ls, it's not available because there are some proprietary files which they're not supposed to show, so it will obviously be not coming. So you can do cd home. So see that there is no such directories called as home or something. ls minus la also, if you do, let's see whether it will show up something. So you can see that, right? It showed me some
Yes.
attributed file, and these are some hidden files that I'm talking here. So bash logout and anything. So I can say shut down. Now it will not take because fail to talk to initial daemon. A daemon is nothing but a connection which is happening. Also you can say hey, shut down SR now. So see that, it's not allowing me to do some of the Linux commands that I'm talking. So I can do some bin. So binary is also not available. So this is what I'm talking, right? You get that end-to-end production from all these kind of servers. So log out, log in, you guys can start doing that. But let me just clear off that. I think my Windows VM might not start working because I just started it out very late. So I think SSH is not going to work. RDP is going to work, but Bastion is something that I am very not comfortable with because it might not give me that access. So let me just go back here. So virtual machines, it's Vishwas Narayan. So I think RDP file should start working. So RDP file should start working, but I don't know whether this RDP thing will start working there. Let's see. Connect. So I think it's saying me to give me the password. I'll give it the password. Let's see whether it will get connected. Log on attempt failed. Oh, sorry, it's not so. More choices. Use different accounts. So username was Vishwas, right? Let's see what is the username of it. So the computer name is Vishwas Narayana. The password is this. So let's just see what is this going to happen. Okay, so your credentials were not connected, did not work. Okay, more choices. Use different account. Okay, at gmail.com something, and password should be this. That should connect also, but it's not connecting because this is my sister's laptop. I can't do much here, but by first semester में कितना CGPA सही है?
He's just spamming the things, I guess.
Man, block him. Please block
No,
him.
just leave it. Just leave it. Just okay. I don't know
भाई
what's wrong with him.
देखो प्लीज ऐसा मत कर लियो because this is all we are now trying for a professional stuff. So just do that.
If you're
So
having
you
any
can
doubt,
see
just
that, right?
let us know.
Yeah, if you have anything, connect with me on LinkedIn for these
Yeah,
personal
sure,
stuff.
sure.
It should not happen on
Yes,
the stream like this because it's going to be
yes,
available for a lot of people, right? So you can see
yes.
that. Okay, now you can click on this IP. You can still see that it's going to be accessed somewhere down the line. But now I have not allowed it. It will not be accessed there. But you can
Okay.
see that, right? You can access it any given point of time. So let's just
Yes,
hit on this IP and see whether this is working or not. It will not work for sure because I'm not connected to any of the services. So this is how it is. You can start connecting to any amount of VMs. Like if you have configured it for your same account, you can still go ahead and start working. I think Bastion might work. Let's see whether the Windows Bastion will work for me. So creating the Bastion, of course, it will start creating the Bastion and everything. So that is always perfect for me. So let's just go ahead with it. Okay. Don't ask me any questions like this. Sorry for that. I
let
can't
it, leave
answer
it
that.
like.
So you are in the portal. So of course the Bastion will be created. If the Bastion gets created, well and good. So this is one way of entering your Azure infrastructure initially. But in the future, there's something called as Azure CLI. So you guys have to learn this because this is the trick that is required for the tomorrow's world. I'll say you why. because all of it is going to be automated. All of this is going to be saying that DevOps is required, right? So all these DevOps is nothing but a shiny looking Linux command. And basically all these Linux commands are going to be so uh, shiny to us in such a way that it's going to be the same old Linux command that you write on your command prompt, but it's being secured to some extent. It's not being soft coded. It's not being hard coded. All the credentials can't be out, right? So this is how you also get and leverage. Like, hey, I used to do this in my Linux Bash commands, so now I'm just supposed to just go away from that mindset and I'm supposed to automate it for the scale, and it's going to be much more easier. So you guys can go there, check out how to install it on the Windows. So latest releases of the Windows CLI, you can still download it. So when downloaded, open when downloaded, yes, it's already taken care. So it's always there. So why I'm saying you this, because as your Kubernetes service documentation, if you go here and check out what is happening, so deploy an Azure function. It's all still AZ, ACR, create, all these applications, right? You can do it on your local system if you have had that login already done. So this is what I'm saying about, right? You can still go ahead and do that, but I will not waste my time in downloading and installing all these. So you can also do it on your portal as well. So you can create as many web apps as you can, as many as functions as you can. You can go there. So this is one part of the virtual machine and everything. So already when you are thinking of Azure, so it's already having that Azure VMs, everything which you just required for that production ready system. It's always there for you right now in front of you here. So you guys can go out and check out all these services. So you guys can not have to worry about like what should I do. So all these Linux commands that I'm giving here or Azure commands works still perfect on the portal as well. So you guys can go check out that. So, nextly, I told about containers, right? Why containers? Containers today are the best form of software that you can write today. Why I'm saying you containers are the best form of it? Because I'll say what you have container apps which is ready to become serverless as well. Like this is how we want that kind of an service. Like a seamless lift and shift happens. What is a lift and shift? It's basically nothing but what if I get a million hits per second, and how can I scale my architecture in such a way that it does not break, it does not give me that 404 error at any given point of time. So the seamless lift and shifts happen and everything. So all these services that I'm pointing out here, these are the instances where you can just go and deploy your entire container. How will a container look? It's very simple. You guys can go check out Docker Hub, which was Narayana Ari. So you guys can go check out this profile of mine where I've just made some Docker Hub and the deployments and the things like that. You guys can check out like this is what we
Okay.
need for all the things. So this will be the form factor of it. You can just push to the Docker Hub, and that will be having the collection of all the repositories and all the libraries and the binaries required to run your software that you have written. So that's perfect. And it will be platform agnostic. It can run seamlessly on Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and everything. So let's just do one thing. Let me just show you how to deploy in a container registry first. This container, sorry for my spelling, container registry. So as you say container registry, there pops up the container registry. So it's an Azure managed Docker hub, kind of a Docker hub which is directly created from the Azure. It will be there on your Azure infrastructure. You guys can go and check out what is happening. So let's just type Vishwas. And for this, it's not creating a new one because it can be in any of it actually creates a lot of independent resources, right? So it's container registry. So I'll just make one resource group and I'll just do that. But for a VM, it requires its own VM, a NIC, everything. I'll say what I'm saying in a short span of time, so don't worry. So availability zone, yes. Standard zone, basic also I can choose. So it's just a pricing tier that I'm talking here. So basics are some 100 GBs of free. Standard has some amount of storage. This many amount of registries can be taken. Premium is like unlimited. You can store how many ever you want. So it's actually good for a company, but for your learning, basic works the fine. So let's just create that. So it's not creating anything as a network security group or anything. So let me just create it. And since the initialization of deployment happened, let's see what happens. Let's see what I told about creating that resource group, particularly for a VM. Submitting deployments are happening, so that's perfect. So deployment is in process. So let's just go to that resource group which we did for a VM, right? So let's say this is a community version demo, right? So let's just see what's happening here. So you can see that, right? In all the resources, there is an VM created. There's an IP which is always communicating. A network security group is always created. A NIC, network interface card, is being allocated for your VM, and a virtual network is being allocated as well. So you can see that, right? For a VM, there are different components which are allocated. Thus, it requires. But let's just see what happens in your container registry. Bastion is now created. Oh, that Bastion thing that I was talking about is here. So that's fine. So let's just go for those windows and see what is that Bastion doing there. First Narayana, and the password was, I forgot the password. I forgot the password,
Hmm.
man. Can you get me that password going to that stream? Because thanks for,
Yeah.
because I have to start beginning of learning. So yeah, that's not a problem. Okay. I forgot the password, by the way.
Just a second. Let me see.
Check it in the YouTube and get me. Yeah, we can just
Yeah, yeah,
directly
fine,
connect it.
fine, fine.
So I will just go ahead with that Bastion also. That's not a problem. We can go ahead with that Bastion. Bastion basically gives you that only, so you need not have to worry about it. I think I can connect a Linux also with a Bastion. I can show you how to connect a Linux also with a Bastion. So that's not a very yes thing. So I think we can have a Bastion connected. So let me just show you how to create a subnet for this. It's creating for its own self, and it's creating a Bastion. Let it create a Bastion. I think container registry should have been created by now. So let's see whether the container registry has been created. So yeah, container registry has been created. So very quickly, it's very simple. You should know how to create a container using the Docker commands, and login, everything still remains the same. So you guys can go check out all the things. So Docker run minus IT. So it's the similar way of running your container. So it's there. And Docker login ACR, it's just saying the same way of Docker login, and you're just representing the container registry which you're supposed to going inside. So you're just going in there, and now tag hello world to this entire repository, and you can push it. As soon as you say, you go and type this command on your command prompt, you need an access key, right? How to generate is very simple. There is an admin user which is always required, and what you can go in here is you can enable that admin user, and you have this password. Copy any one of the password with this as your login server, and you will be inside the Docker environment. So I think it's going to take a lot of time. So let's just go to the container instance. What was the password, bro?
Yeah, I'm checking out. I'm not able to find it.
I think it was there initially only. Initial setup only we started, right?
Yeah, just a second.
So let's just move ahead with the container registry. After container registry creation, you have to deploy it somewhere, right? So container instance is a PaaS application. What's a PaaS application? It's a platform as a service application, PaaS in Azure container instance. So it's always a platform as a service where it's a platform. where you're just going out and creating a lot of instances which is required. And in here, you're not maintaining anything. Everything is taken care. You are just using this platform in order to just push that container, make it start working, and all that updates of the container registry and all the services that is going behind that will be taken care by the Azure itself. So it's a little costly one, so that's not a problem. So new 1 2 3 4 5, that will be a new resource group that I'll be creating for Azure container instance. And you can say Vishwas Narayan 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 or something like. Just keep it unique, because throughout your resources it will be there. But when you go for a company, you have to order everything and things like that. So you would need to do that. Quick start image, you can do that. But I would say I have an image in my Docker Hub, which is a public repository. So Vishwas Narayana Ari slash Vishwas, and it gets the latest image. Basically, even when you do it on a local system on your laptop with a Docker installed with all the commands running, it does the same thing. It just pulls the latest, and this also now pulls the latest, and it's one time deploy. So you guys can go check it out, and you can now see that, right? All the other resources are getting created. So you guys can go create it, and everything starts working. I think, did you get it? The password? Vishwas. Oh yeah.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you
yes. I have
so
found it.
much, Vamshi.
One second.
Oh man,
Yeah, okay, okay, fine, fine.
great, bro. Thank you so much. Thank
I
you
was
so
just
much.
searching for that.
I think let's connect with the Bastion. Pop up blocked. I always want you to allow the pop up.
I was about
So
to enter
let's
that
see.
password. This is thanks, Vamshi.
Thanks, Vamshi. Thank you so much, bro. It means a lot when you're
Yeah, just found it, and
listening.
I'm about to
And
enter
you
the
guys
password.
can see. Oh, okay, okay. Wait.
Yeah.
I think probably it was
Yes, yes.
VISH, right? Smaller one,
Um,
right?
yes, yes.
Yep. It's not allowing me. Probably it's because try again later. Login failed. Vishwas Narayan, right? It's not Vishwas Narayana. Vishwas Narayan. Right. Let's see what's the name of that entire thing. Oh, it's Vishwas Narayana only. So let's see whether the Bastion works, because I need to log in properly. All right. So Vamshi gave me that password. So everything was small letter, right?
Yes, yes.
1 2 2 demo. Probably this should work, or else it's not working. Why? Login failed. Probably that Azure Active Directory issues or anything,
Just write
right?
out with capital V.
Let's see. Yeah, it didn't work that time, so that's why I just went out.
Okay, fine.
All right, Vishwas Narayana is the name of it. Yeah, like sorry for that. I just forgot that. Where did I write it? But it was in a tab that I written, and I just did something. So not to worry. It's okay. Like it happens. But like, let's not worry about that. Let's just go ahead with our demos, right? Uh, did I lose my container instance? All right. Container instance is here. So you guys can go check out what is happening in that container instance. So I think it's already deployed or something. Okay, created a new bastion. Let's see whether this IP is getting hit by that. Oh, it was actually deployed, but it didn't come out as a notification here. Oh, deployment succeeded.
Okay,
It
okay.
came up. It
Fine,
came
fine,
up.
fine.
Yeah. I think this is what I'm right. As soon as you start learning it, you just need to know how can I automate all these kinds of deploys and everything. So here it is. There you go. You just have to just create that instance, and it will be there for you right now. And see that there was an instant spike in the network bytes that was being transmitted and received. and there's a no amount of CPU being used. There is 5 MBs of RAM which is used. Okay, so endorsement, which was Narayan. Today I reach 1 point something subscription, so
Yeah,
make me more amount of subscribers. By the way, like that would be awesome. So
congrats, bro.
end of your container instances. So it's very simple. You just have to do click, 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 write down some resource group, write down the container that you want to deploy, allow all the Linux and the virtual machines that you want to create, and everything will be sorted. As simple as that. You guys can go create a new one. So check it out here. So create a resource group, create the name for it, get the source of the container. You will know what OS type it has to be running on. So you just keep it running. So let's see whether it runs on any of the uh, wait, which was Narayana Ali slash which was. So the container must contain lowercase. Yeah, it's containing. Oh, okay, okay. It's taking slash, right, which was Narayana Ari. So Vishwas Narayana Ari slash Vishwas. So let's see what's going to happen. It's basically you're basically running it on a VM itself, like kind of on your data center. So Vishwas Narayana slash Vishwas, and that container should always be there. And of course, it will be created. When you click on that IP, it will automatically get deployed. So it's a seamless transition that happens between your deployment of the containers on an Azure container instances. Like it's seamless. You don't even have to do a lot of work here. You just need to just do the same old click, click, click. Everything will be sorted. I think let's just go ahead with the web app demo because we want to go ahead with that demo, right? So, as a matter of fact, there are other services on your web apps that you can do. Web application firewalls, it comes in an advanced architecture that you can start building towards. So it's always there. So let's just create that. That's not a problem to us. So wait, I can get this, which is my default browser in my sister's app, which Google Chrome. Web browser default is Google Chrome here. So let's just do a little bit of magic here. So okay, it's portal.azure.com. So very simple. So sign in with GitHub. No, it's not me. Okay, okay. Okay, this is not working out. Why? Login has to happen seamlessly, right? Okay. I could have shown you this VS Code demo, but let's see. It's not going to work. But let's do an app service only. So it will be on the portal itself, right? So we can go ahead in the future sessions. We can start creating a new web apps and everything. So Windows demo, I'll just go there and I want to create a new Vishwas. But I want to show you a new one, right? So web app demo. Let's create a web app demo resource group. So that's perfect. Which was apps services not available. Which was Narayana Ari. So which was Narayana Ari dot Azure website dot net will be the code of it. So you can put in the Docker container as well. So that's there. I'll show you in both the ways. Don't worry about that. So when you click on the code and you want to choose a runtime stack, you get it when you want to choose something like this, but when you are putting it in a form of a container, you don't even have that access for getting which is a runtime stack, because containers, they package everything and they throw it in the form of a file system, and that will be one entire package that will be having all the libraries, binaries that is required for running an application. So it's just a compute instance that you're throwing that container towards. So that is what is happening. So let's just do code first, then let's just do containers. So I did an application in Python a very long time ago. So I think I can use that. So, and SKU and sizes are nothing but basically you are basically defining the pricing tiers, the amount of compute which is required. So you can change the size. Click on this, you can change the size, and everything will be sorted for you. So change the size. You can see if you are in a dev and a test environment, you can get still F1 and B1. Like this has some sort of a pricing and everything, so you guys can go check it out. So it's all about the storage and the memory. Yes, of course. So that pricing tier, this is free, right? So you guys can make any amount of protocols and anything. So now review and create. You will see that it will directly get created on the deployment center in the Azure web apps that I'm creating here. You can go there and check out what is happening. So it's saying me that you are using a free tier account. So, oh, sorry for that. Using a free tier account, and it's giving me the subscription that I'm using here. So I'm not sharing you my tenant ID, client ID, anything. So you guys can't use this anytime unless and until you have logged in. Got that? So and it's saying me ASP web app demo. Yes, I named it as web app demo through that entire resource group. So it's taking me that. So ASP is always there, which is there in the resource group. I'll show you that as well. So let's just create it first. Click on this create. It will start this creating. So until we submit the deployment, if I refresh it, it will not go there. So that's why. So you need to be careful during this step. So submitting the deployment, so I will just go, you have some unsaved changes, that's okay. So deployment in progress, perfect. So you guys can go and check out, right? In the new resource group that I created, web app demo. Where are you? Oh, it's creating now. That's perfect. Deployment in progress. So resource group is web app. I think there is no resources that was yet created, but ASP web app demo is already created. We can go to that resource group and see whether this. Oh, it's not yet created. Oh, until and unless it creates the web app, it will not come on. Yes, I got it now. So it's in the progress. So it will take some time. In a meanwhile, let's do the same thing for the containers there. And you'll see the difference in the way you are deploying here. I'll show you how it is. So create and the create step still remains the same. Created, you'll just go ahead with the create and you choose the subscription, container, web app, demo, and you guys can start using it. I think you'll join in between, right? Okay. 450, join by 450. Yes, I think I need to go and give one more demo in other place.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, I'll just do this demo and I'll go out. That's not a
Yeah, fine,
problem.
fine, fine.
It's not a it's demo for a reason. Yep. Bro, just try to make more of the 10 minutes. I'm coming. Okay. Sure. It's that guy. So which was Docker web app demo. So if I do something like this, so it's always there. So I do the containers and look at the option that I do. So if I do the code, it will say deployment, how the deployment has to happen. So I don't want to do the deployment setting and everything. So I don't want to do that right now. So I do the containers here and look at the magic of it. The Docker is always coming up here. So now what you can do is instead of creating review and create, do this Docker thing. So it's a single container. Yes. If you choose Docker Compose, you have to choose multiple deployment slots, so it's not worth it. So just do that. And a single container. NGINX is the samples. I don't want to do that, but I'll choose from the Docker Hub and I'll say Vishwas Narayana Ari slash Vishwas. There's no startup command required, I think so. But let's see whether this thing starts working. So yes, you guys can check out what is happening. So startup command is not provide an optional startup command that will run as part of the application startup. Okay, there is no startup command. It's just that home directory which is always there. So let's see what's happening. Docker run -d -t something. I should have it written, but if it doesn't work, But this is how you do it. This is how you do that container deployment and everything. So as I told, for the normal demo, what we'll do is we'll go to the deployment center here. So you will have the deployment tabs and you will have the deployment center. So you can take a reference from the quick start, follow the quick start step which is given from the documentation. That also works. Also you
Vishwas, there
can
is another doubt from Reek Chatterjee. Just take it out.
as a topic like YAML Kubernetes are mostly explained in English and other platform. Greatly requested to do so. Because from other source I found it's in English, so it will be more understandable conversation with ease when it is in Hindi. Okay, bro, we can do that. Reek, पता चल गए तो हमारे लिए भी हिंदुस्तान की खून है ना, तो हम हिंदी में ही बात कर सकते हैं. नॉट एन वरी ब्रो, डोंट वरी, विल डू इट इन हिंदी. But I'm not that well versed in Hindi, so I'll make sure that I'll just get it. Just tell me when I have to end. Yes, we'll see you when you have to end. I think the deployment didn't work because the container apps probably didn't come up. But this is how you do the containers as well. Oh, so let's just go ahead with the source. That container demo didn't work, so let's just delete it. It's not required. But I just showed you that option as well. So I think I can go to redeploy, but that option will not work. So that's the problem. So it already came up with all the things, but it didn't work. But I can't do that. Let me just show you this demo on GitHub. So it knows that my account was always connected to the GitHub, and I connected through the GitHub. So I'm going there. I'm going to my organization, and I'm going for my repository. So it's a Python Flask app repository, right? CDF. Where are you? Python. Python Flask app demo, and the branch is main. And I'm now saying add a workflow file. Yes, I want to. And this, as soon as I save it, and I can go to my repository, and you will start seeing that there will be an updation in the repository that I just did now. This was the repository that just got updated. See that it's just got updated. Now it's saying now updated, and you can see how the other builds are happening right now. So you can go to the github.actions. They recently deployed demo is here, so that's perfect. I can delete all the three of it, all the two of it, not the three later, but like I can do this as well. So I think 35 seconds ago I did it, so 11 days ago I did that one. And the funny part about it is you need not have to do an entire CI or CD builds or anything, right? You just have to just go ahead and create this thing. And if your application is working properly with the normal commands and everything, it will still work the same way out there as well. So you need not have to do much of a work here. So once you know that, okay, my entire app is working good on my system, which is updated and everything tested and everything, you can directly push it. So you guys can go check this out. And the funny part is you get to know the matrix builds which are happening, and that visualization that just happened just came here in front of you. So the deployments happened, deployment to the Azure web apps happened here. So I can click on this. Okay, so there was no package which was coming up, so that was the problem. Okay, let's see what's the build status. Oh, master one. Let's see what's the requirements.txt containing. So 1.012, that's there. Okay, this should have happened, but like I don't know why it didn't come up. But this repository works actually. So since it's a Python application, it might take a little longer time. So products during produced during runtime artifacts were not created. What? Okay. So probably this is happening here, deploying to the production. Let's see. Okay, like this is the way in which they are working. I think There were different amount of it, but I have only given one matrix build. Why there are two matrix builds showing up? That's the problem that I'm facing here. Let's see what's that workflow that I've taken. See, I've only had one file, but there is two files coming up. That's the catch here. I think I did one demo out there for the master branch. I think I can do for the master branch as well. So I think it's not connected to the folder. Production is in failure. View deployments. Let's see what's the view. So this is deployments already happened. Perfect. So Vishwas Narayana Ari. So Vishwas Narayana Ari web app deployment. Okay, it now happened. Since I had deleted most of the files there already, right? So that's where it was not happening. But now it's happening. So Vishwas Narayana Ari website. The deployment happened, and still it's not secure because it was in a free tier and there is no SSL and everything connected. And this was the new updated repository that I'm showing. So this is the beginning for you. There are different services that we need to take care and everything. So any doubts, any queries, and any questions will be there. And do join our Discord channel, folks, because it helps
Yes,
us a
yes,
lot. And over to you, Akhil. This is the
yes.
end of
So
it. Like just a quick
yeah,
intro that I gave. You can go ahead with anything.
yeah. So on the 26th January, coming to tomorrow, so we are having a quiz on the Azure, on the DevOps and Azure command and Azure. So there is a link shared in the description, as I guess, in the chat. So do join the Discord channel for the quiz tomorrow on the Republic Day quiz. Yes.
Sure.
So
Perfect. Perfect.
do join the Azure community, developer community Hyderabad for all the updates needed for the upcoming
Perfect,
events.
folks.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
folks.
Vishwas.
Enjoy doing
Thank
Azure,
you.
and hopefully, you guys learn a lot every single day. So, perfect.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Vishwas, for your time.
Yeah, yeah. We can end the broadcast now, Lakshit.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Call the Lakshit here. I think probably he will come up. Yeah. I have another meet. I'll just go ahead. Okay. Sure. So, bye, folks. Have you have any